Hello, everybody. Do not worry. The cube remains. You don't
The
have
cube
to.
remains.
You don't have to summon it again. Who knows? Eventually this week you might see it talk. I don't know. We're working on some verbal cues.
Wow. You didn't change my picture to the Wawa picture.
I did
You
not. I just
forgot.
changed. I just changed your title.
Yorkie Sorbarian.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Disaster Tour. I'm PT, your Disaster Tour Guide. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Bits, Crits, and Halfwits. We have all of our wonderful players here. And some stuff happened last time, some shenanigans, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get right into it before our recap. Actually, I'll do our question first so our players have time to think about it, and then I'll do our recap.
Oh, good idea.
All right. The question is, it's a very interesting one, I think. What is something your character used to enjoy doing that they don't enjoy doing anymore? For any reason. Could be something big or something small. Oh, that's why it's doing that. Okay, hang on. Here, I realized it wasn't feeding people to the cube immediately because I forgot to put skip the request queue.
Yeah, you gotta unlock it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta make it powerful.
Elliot became the next one.
Consumed.
Consume.
Um,
I would have to draw the cube in different colors. Or talk to a certain person about randomization.
Oh, it's pretty easy. Once you know how to do it.
All right.
Bro.
Well, regardless, we're gonna get right into it. We might see that as a future redemption. There's gonna be lots of future redemptions. Eventually, you will be able to contain the cube.
I'm gonna love the polychromatic gelatinous cube.
The dancing cube. All right, well, last time on Bits, Crits, and Halfwits, our party escaped the underwater area and found themselves in an oasis. Which, I think it's here, yeah. Okay. Sorry, finding notes. At this point, I have, like, folders upon folders upon folders of notes for this game. Yes. They found themselves in the Druidic Grove, an oasis, of L'Oreal, in a place called Miragine's Refuge. After kind of relaxing and getting some wisdom about the path they're taking, etc., etc., they had a little game of tag involving some yes, some sneeze. Jesus snoozing. Some Pegasus slobber that was incredibly difficult to get rid of. They found themselves playing a little game of tag, during which our
Gesundheit.
Our barbarian, our Sorbarian, had a little wild magic turn her into a dog for an unknown amount of time that is known only to me and my designs. Why is Lulin bigger than Elliot and not even?
Well, he's currently layered over his border.
I see that.
And the border is like a bit. It's also their border is also a bit lower than.
I'm aware of what's wrong with it.
Everything has just slid down slightly, it seems.
I just need to move that.
Fixed him. More or less fixed him. It's good enough for government work.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Good enough for government work, indeed.
Oh, Newson's in the cube now.
Yo. Consumed.
Only 3 people haven't been consumed.
Oh, well, there's only 4 people who can be consumed right now, so.
Oh, then there's only 1 person who hasn't been consumed yet.
Yeah, the cube would never eat a dead person.
Damn, I'm dead? What?
The cube is coming for Karak.
I'm next.
Anyways, let's do our introductions. Hopefully you've had time to think about your question. First, we have Lulin Boldspeaker, our Minotaur Druidin from Olfast, played by...
Me, Brambo. And the answer may shock you, and it's probably meditating.
Interesting.
I think I get it.
Yeah. Can't be alone with your own thoughts. So it's relatable.
Yep.
Then we have Elliot Burning Elk, the half-elf blizzard from Zrea, played by...
It's me, Isaac, and for dinner tonight I had pesto on spaghetti. Pretty good.
Oh.
That does sound pretty good.
Yeah, it's not much, but it's an honest meal.
It's good enough for government work.
Hey, I don't do government work.
Not anymore.
And you can't talk about the government work that I did do, so keep your mouth shut.
Hush.
I didn't sign an NDA.
Yeah, no, you got a point.
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Elliot, I think, used to enjoy some quiet time sitting in like a fancy study, but he no longer appreciates that.
Interesting. And then we have Newsin Worldwalker, the Yorkie Sorbarian, played by...
It's me, the Sky Tea. I think that I think Newsin has a different relationship with like sparring now than she used to. Like it used to be like kind of a fun test your metal activity, but after fighting for her life for so long, it's like it's not the same as it used to be.
It just bubbles up all that stress.
Mm-hmm.
Turns even a fun fight into a fight for your life.
Exactly.
And last but not least, we have Karakareem, the Furbolg Warlock from Elenia, played by...
Hello, it's Terminian Link VT, and I think Karak doesn't find joy in the little moments of alone time that he would have in the morning watching the sunrise. I think being alone in general is kind of soured for him because he's left with himself in more ways than one.
Interesting.
PT will remember that.
Mm-hmm.
PT remembers many things.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them good for the party.
Things that don't... That was bad English. Let me start from the beginning.
Yeah,
Even
please.
more interesting, the things PT doesn't remember.
Hey, now.
The things forgotten.
All right. Where exactly did we leave off? Were you all lounging about in the sand after playing tag?
I was a dog.
Oh,
I like
yes.
to think we all...
The dog. Yeah, let's circle back immediately to that and see what the rest of the party's reactions are as Newsin flies down to meet everyone and lands as a small dog. That only Elliot knows is Newsin, to be clear.
I mean, I feel like it'd be pretty obvious considering it still has the blue bison potion effects on it.
That's
Can
true.
Can I roll insight to see if I know this is Newsin?
At advantage, yes.
At advantage, got it.
Oof. Could have been worse. Oh god, starting off with the potential of a crit. Just
Oh, jeez.
That could have been a nat
It was an
zero.
advantage.
That could have been a nat zero, everybody.
What a strange dog. Where did this come from?
Yeah, Karak, you're looking at this small blue dog with wings on the ground, kind of just like, wow, it looks a lot like Newton, but that's a really weird thing to have happen here. And Lulin, you're looking at it, and you see the slicked back hair, and just, oh, this is Newton.
Lulin does like one sniff test.
It sniffs you back.
Yeah, smells like Newton.
As you lean in for the sniff test, you see a small collar around the dog's neck with a tag on it, with what looks like a button on the tag.
Lulin investigates and reads.
Are you gonna take it off of Newton?
No, he's just gonna look at hold the tag in his hand and just read it.
The tag says press here and has a small, like, the button appears to be a small paw-shaped sigil.
Lulin presses the paw.
As you press the paw, magic begins to stream out of it as a figure of a halfling wearing very bright clothes appears. Hello, and thank you for joining our Life as a Dog seminar. Now, some things you should know. First, welcome to being a dog. While in this form, don't worry. Your items aren't gone, they're simply stored in your collar. Should you need to access your pocket dimension, trademark pending, simply dig a hole, and the hole will act as your personal access to your storage. After all, that's what dogs do. Are you an unfortunate spellcaster who got caught in this form? Worry not. You can cast Mage Hand at will while in this form, and while it's not strong enough to lift items of any kind, it can be used for the somatic components of your spells. Just don't get caught using it. We see that when you signed on to your contract for doghood, you were a barbarian. Worry not, our new tiny friend. You can still rage and activate any abilities from your anger while in this form. Now with added benefits. When you choose to rage, although you will remain the size of a tiny dog, you'll be able to use your own strength and dexterity to win whatever tiny situation you may have gotten yourself into. Now, does anybody have any questions about how to maintain your new dog friend for the duration of the free trial? As like you see this like mirage halfling turn and like look at the party.
What does dog eat?
The dog eats whatever dogs eat. Everything.
How long is the free trial?
The free trial lasts until we are satisfied with your experience as a dog.
Oh. The wording of that is strange. When you're satisfied, not when... Okay, huh. Any questions, Elliot?
Should you wish to end the trial early, you simply need to use a greater remove curse or a wish, and it will end the trial immediately.
Ooh,
I mean, my trial was permanent, so I have no questions.
Oh, I don't have that. I got regular remove. I can remove a smaller curse, but not that one.
We can assure you that becoming a dog TM is not a curse, it is a blessing.
It's more
Yep.
just...
Yep.
Yup.
I mean,
Welcome to Pack
I don't have any experience as a dog, so I have to I trust
Defer?
yeah, I have to defer to Elliot on this one.
Anyways, that's all the time we have. Until your free trial ends, please enjoy the Dog Days experience as you watch the magic filter back into the collar.
Okay. You know, I should have asked if Newsen can understand us like this. They can probably
Newsen, you
understand
can
me.
understand them.
Oh, okay. Well, question answered.
Yeah. Come on, Newton. Stop playing around. Go into your human form.
Can you just do that?
Newsom, like...
I mean, I could.
You know,
like-
fair. Do it.
Newsom, like, takes a wide stance. This dog, like, spreads its legs out on the ground, like, braces and concentrates so hard that the full body starts shaking. But it's like that tiny dog shake.
Roll to poop. You're shaking so violently.
Oh, let me share this with Sky.
Okay, cool.
This has all your current stats.
My document.
Your pedigree.
My document.
Your pedigree.
Yes, my pedigree. Thank you.
There you go.
Is it in the notes? Aha, the dog. Perfect.
The dog.
What the dog doing?
The dog.
What
Patent
the
pending.
dog doing? Yeah, I got sniff checks back. Let's go. Oh god.
How exactly did this
I get to retain my charisma. You
Good
decided
for
you're
you.
not gonna make all the NPCs roll to decide whether I'm ugly or not?
No, that's still gonna happen.
Oh, okay.
It's just gonna
got it.
determine whether you roll charisma at advantage, disadvantage, or neither.
Oh boy.
Or
So-
both.
So how did this happen? We were just playing. We were just like.
Well, so
Yep.
Newsom kind of cheated to get her magic. So from what I understand, it's just sort of random.
Cheated.
Was that an angry growl or like
How do you cheat to get magic?
I don't know. I've never really tried. Cheat in all the other parts of school. Never cheated to get the magic though.
I'm just confused. Okay, I guess. I guess we just wait this out. Do you think after the trial is done, you'll be able to request an extension, like the ability to go back and forth? Do you think that might be?
I mean, honestly,
that might be fun.
I would check with the bank in Zarea. They might have already added the subscription to your account. If you don't cancel, it'll just go into
Wait,
full time.
Do they just? You can. Oh, okay. You can just. That's a lot more efficient than just having the gold on you. Okay.
Yeah.
God.
So, I have the
Also,
ability
Sky, can I make a
to-
request of you?
Yes.
You must disable your noise dampening
Oh.
because you
okay.
make animal noises, and your computer goes, "This is not
No.
what I should pick up."
I'm hearing most of them, thankfully.
Let me.
Then it might just be my.
I'm
side
hearing them subtly in the background as Newson yips and barks at Elliot.
Then it's probably just my compression.
Here, I will set it down to standard instead of crisp. And we'll see if that improves it.
Mhm.
It's crisp, It could cut out the sound of you eating that potato.
Mhm. that one was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be a little bit more specific with it as well.
A little more vocal.
Good.
Also, Newson casts Mage Hand and uses it to write Rule 8 in the sand
You don't-
next to her, and then taps a little paw next to it. at Elliot's talking about the bank doing an automatic subscription.
I remember what Rule 8 is.
Elven
Mhm.
bureaucracy is bullshit, but you have to live with it.
Yeah.
Ah, got it. I'm glad it wasn't
Rule. To be fair, it could have. There was for a split second. I'm like, extract 300 gold from a bank.
That's
and they think you're a
also
mob
what I
boss?
was thinking.
And then I'm like, no, I've been saying roulette this whole time. Roulette is bureaucracy.
Mm-hmm. Rule 8 is bureaucracy.
See, if you turn it on its side, it looks like an infinity symbol because it never fucking ends.
So true! Oh my god.
That's fantastic. I do have the ability to speak with animals. I won't be able to until morning comes.
I mean, animals and plants have always understood me very well. It's more just them communicating back that's always been the issue.
That's I know this spell, speak with animals.
Oh.
It's just I need time to
Recharge.
Yes, very much yes.
You did it.
Oh.
I will say, amazing job during that game, Lulin. I completely
Lulin?
forgot about.
I won.
Well, yes, but like I went head to head against them, and I'm saying they did a good job catching me.
But
Head to head, you didn't move.
I was going to, and then I disappeared. Was going to run off. I had slowed them down, and then remembered that Lulin is it knows how to detect magic, and realized I'm wearing a lot of magic now.
He walked up to you.
He ran up to
me.
me.
Yeah. Delay will be.
I mean, I have watched you in battle, Karak. I kind of know some of the things you're capable of. And so when you shut my long strider off and then became invisible, it's either you cut my detect magic out and reveal yourself, or I just see you regardless.
Oh, that is true. Honestly, it was very fun. I didn't know you could use these kind of powers that way. Most of the time it was just going on a hunt here and there and using it that way. So it's nice. It's nice not to use them for such serious matters.
As you say that, you hear footsteps crunching in the sand behind you. As L'Oreal comes up. Well, magic was never made for solving serious problems, not in the first place.
Oh, I didn't know that. Just seemed very serious, good, powerful stuff, and so.
Well, yes, but the powerful stuff never comes first.
I guess that's true. You can't get stronger without first being weak.
Now, as he kind of crouches down, who is this little friend?
That is our other Minotaur friend. That is Newsen.
Ah. Well, hopefully this was the change you were looking for.
She shakes her head vigorously.
Oh no!
You,
I think the personality fits well.
as you look up at him, he raises an eyebrow. We'll see. Oh yeah, I forgot to put this on your thing, but you're also colorblind now.
Oh.
I'm not the only one!
I also want you all to know that I looked up the average size of a Yorkie. Full-grown Yorkies, on average, are 8 to 9 inches tall and weigh at max 7 pounds.
Nice.
It's ridiculously small. They are known as one of the smallest dog breeds. Oh, God.
Ideal.
And if
truly.
it's less than 4 pounds, it's considered a teacup.
Well, I can assure you, you're not a teacup.
You're a Yorkie.
I'm an average adult Yorkie, standing 8 inches high. and weighing 6 to 7 pounds. Oh boy.
So what are you all doing?
I think Lulin's gonna prepare a pot of tea with the hot stones.
Resting, getting ready for the Dream Grove tonight.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun. While Karak is doing that, while the brain cannot, it is putting the cart before the horse right now. While Lulin is doing that, Karak kind of is just sitting by the fire, and something's kind of been eating at him. Where he's and since it's like we're already in a grove where we're supposed to become better people than we entered. Karak's just like, hey, Lulin, earlier when we were talking alone, you told a lot of stories about us. I was sort of curious about any of those. I don't know a lot about all of the stories you all have had, and well, I certainly didn't think any of the stuff I've done so far was worth a story quite yet. So, while we're making tea, would you care to spin a yarn?
Well, first
If
off,
it's all
Karak,
right, no issue,
Meeting-
obviously.
meeting you is worth a story enough. I just bit by bit told my adventure to my children. I didn't go into much gruesome detail of how things became, but more so the happier times and maybe twisted a bend of being more heroic than maybe at death's constant door. But when they were a bit older, I had right after we had left Mog's tower, we were making our way. We were going through our trepidations, and we had gone through what was that storm called with all the blades and the fire and the metal?
The Daggerfall. Yeah,
yes, the Daggerfall. I was telling them all of this because even Valianti has never heard this story yet. So everybody was just in amazement and awe and wonder and terror as to such things could exist. And even after, through our trepidations and our hardships, we all fell apart and we all came together.
I think that's a good story. That's a nice one.
Susan, as they're telling the story around the campfire, what item are you gnawing on? Or have you tried out your pocket dimension yet?
I was actually contemplating that.
Did you see how I spelled
I was about
it?
to say.
Pocket.
That's good. Elliot has dug through his bag, found his favorite stick, and put it in front of Newson.
Let's go! I'll give the stick thing a try.
Now, Karak just looks at this. It's just like, do I need to
update? Has never liked Newson more than right now.
Karak sees that one thing and it's just like, do I need to update Rule 2? Never throw your favorite sticks for Elliot, Lulin, and Newson?
Probably.
Now, that stick has a story to it.
It's go on.
Elliot has the ability to turn into a wolf, and me being
experienced,
and me being a druid, I can also turn into some animals. And so we found this rather large stick, and I think it was Newson who thrown it, and me and Elliot battled over it, and Elliot became victorious.
Rock into a dog. I can have a party. Gets thrown in the pound. Session.
Wasn't it specifically a
Escape
wizard
from the
staff
pound.
that we took?
It was a
think
wizard
it's-
staff that
yes.
you took.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any magic in this wizard staff, but it is gnawed like you would not believe. And yet somehow its core shape has endured.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because it's magic. It's
It's
resilient.
magic.
Listen,
Yeah.
Mundane
Elliot
damage.
started to learn about absorbing magic in the same way that 6-year-olds get lead poisoning from their toys by chewing on something.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at you, old Hot Wheels.
Mhm.
You guys chewed on your Hot Wheels? Damn, bro.
They're colorful and shiny.
Alright. Do what you gotta do.
It is human nature as a child to just stick whatever in your mouth. Don't even lie to me.
Mhm.
All right. As you're all kind of telling stories and brewing tea, and the sun begins to set on the horizon, fog begins to roll in from the edges of this grove. Probably about 12 to 14 inches high, so Nuzin disappears almost immediately.
All you can hear is the chewing noises on the stick.
Lulin's after giving like everybody tea and everybody everything. Lulin's gonna like set down like a sheet or something and tell Nuzin to like come in.
In a
sit,
sheet?
play. Yeah.
Nuzin attempts to pick up the whole wizard staff and take it with her.
Lulin's essentially going to swaddle you into a little potato and just carry you. So we can see you properly. You've been burritoed.
Just holding like the smallest end of this full-sized wizard, adult man wizard staff in her mouth.
I imagine this kind of looks like a corn dog with a blanket on the end.
Yes, like with a really long stick.
Mhm.
As you're doing whatever it is you're doing, you see as these kind of bright orbs of light begin to float just over the top of the mist as they float around this grove, and they are in every color of the rainbow. Roll perception checks.
I would love to, but you need to unpause the game.
I sure
you
do.
did. No, you did not. Now you did.
Still pause.
Well, I don't know why it's broken then.
Now it's on pause.
I'm gonna sniff.
Okay, this is not a sniff-based, it's a sight-based, but...
Why not be sniffed based? And
Because-
dog.
because
What
it
colors
involved
smell like?
light and movement.
I'll just gotta
Pulse.
roll perception for each of my friends.
Oh, but I keep my I do keep my proficiencies, yes?
You do.
Okay. Actually, it's better for me as a dog because I get an additional +1. This is great. So that's a 21 instead of a 20.
So, everyone but Lulin sees this. I think Lulin's still focused down towards the ground. As across the grove, L'Oreal walks up to one of these orbs and taps it with a finger as it bursts into the scene of a dream around him. As you see around him, as it's a group of children running through a field. A couple of them are tripped. They're laughing as he kind of just sits there and watches the dream as if he's waiting for something.
Tilts head acutely.
Lulin gives scritches. Lulin doesn't speak dog yet.
Mm-mm.
Using roll perception at advantage.
Let's go.
Everybody else
That's
can roll
so much
normally if they
worse.
want to. Would you like to use a reroll?
Yeah, sure. I can't remember. Do we get advantage on the rerolls?
If it was an advantage roll initially, yes.
Yes.
Okay. That's much better. That was one of those was a nat one. That's great.
It was.
Love it. We're dodging nat ones left, right, and center.
Newson and Elliot, as you watch this dream, you see something flash in the grass on the edge of the field. And you both know immediately that it is a gnoll.
Ah!
Hello.
How
it's still in the dreamscape, like this kind of neon floating colored dreamscape around L'Oreal and whatever seems to be going on. To be as specific as possible to paint the picture on this, the dream itself is painted for you as if it was glowing streaks of light showing you the silhouettes of objects and things. You can see the nights, you can see like the other side of the grove through it, but it's almost like electricity is painting a 3D image of this dream around L'Oreal. L'Oreal, however, looks completely normal. He doesn't look like he's changed at all. He's still very obviously in your world. So, upon seeing kind of this neon flash of a gnoll's face, Newson barks. Elliot, what do you do?
I mean, it's in the dreamscape, so he's not really that worried. Just,
Alright, do you all keep watching?
Yes.
Yeah.
As you keep watching, you watch as L'Oreal's form, as you see this gnoll creature begin coming out of the grass behind the children, and they seem oblivious to it. You watch as his form shimmers and changes shapes until it seems like he's made out of the same electricity as the dream. And as the gnoll is approaching the backs of these kids playing in the grass, he steps forward and taps it with a finger as it disappears. Before he reappears, seemingly back from the dream, in the same spot as the dream around him begins to condense back into that ball of light. And as you watch, he begins walking around, kind of seeming to be a little selective and doing the same type of things in other dreams to other monsters. Some of which do appear to be human. And
the monsters or the dreams?
Some of the monsters appear to be human. It seems like whatever's a threat in the dream, he's destroying before the person in the dream becomes aware of it.
Oh.
This making any sense to either of you?
He's just helping out the dreamers.
And around you all the same types of will-o-wisps are floating.
How tightly swaddled am I? That's the question.
Not very tight.
Okay.
They're not trying to restrict you. This isn't a grapple check.
Yeah, Lilith. Yeah, Lilith just has you safe.
Got it.
You're not like swaddled like a baby. You're just not. It's not super duper safe. It's just,
Good.
Are these like how abundant are these wisps? Are they like all around us?
There's probably 2 or 3 of them in every 5-foot square.
Okay, so pretty abundant.
Pretty abundant.
Yeah.
And it seems like the longer the night is going on, the more and more of them are appearing. Kind of just drifting in from the edges of the grove.
I think Nuzin like kind of like wiggles forward in her little swaddle and gets her like two little front paws out and sort of like reaches out as they or like kind of extends out as they're kind of floating by to like sniff and sort of like inspect one and look at it more closely.
Lulin Lion Kings you and holds you up to one.
Perfect.
These things are low to the ground. They're floating barely above the fog.
Oh, so I'm better off on the ground.
Yes, unless you jump to stick your head up and accidentally stick your head through one.
Can I?
But like when you get near to them, can you see
roll
the
Arcana?
dreams? Oh boy, that is not a thing that I am good at. Oh, but that wasn't a terrible roll. Just a flat 15.
As you look into this dream, go ahead and roll me a d10.
Oh, okay. 3.
As you look into this dream, you faintly see what appears to be a giant chicken in a costume performing a dance routine. What are the rest of you doing?
I think I'll probably
expect some dream.
Same as well. The person would have told us if we weren't supposed to look at them or mess with them.
I mean, yeah, he invited you to see them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, both of you roll me an Arcana check and a D10.
I'll also hop on in this dream train.
Twinning.
D10.
Oh.
And a D10. Wow, we're twinning on the D10.
Yo!
Alright, so we had 2 4s. So, Karak and Lulin, you seem to see 2 variations of this kind of same dream. Somebody seemingly lost in an endless either building or maze. Lulin, the one you're looking at, seems to be like a forest. Karak, the one you're looking at, seems to be like a home from the perspective of a child. Elliot, as you're looking into this dream, what's an NPC you're thinking about?
As he's looking into this dream, he can't help but think about his good old brother Alron.
As you look into this dream, you see Alrond sitting around a fire with kind of just seemingly cooking something that he's caught, just seeming very relaxed.
I think you'll keep an eye on the woods around, see if anything approaches.
Roll perception. At disadvantage, because you're trying to do it from looking into a very small orb.
Okay.
Damn.
I did say disadvantage, didn't I? Did that not
yeah,
come
you did.
through?
No, it did, and I thought I clicked it, but did not.
Just roll one more
It
dice.
was perception. Rude.
You don't see anything in the woods around the camp.
I mean, he'll just keep an eye out. Like, it's clear the dreams here are to be protected from things that threaten it. So he'll just wait for anything that seems like it might threaten the dream.
Is it possible to look? Could I look deeper into mine as well? Just get some more. It's like lost in a maze that's like based off a childhood home. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, if you want to look further into your dream, go ahead and roll me perception at disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Exactly the same thing twice.
Mm-hmm.
The person in your dream, Karak, appears to be looking for something as they're stopping at various points on this walk and opening doors.
Could I try to intuit what it is they're looking for?
Roll insight at disadvantage because you only have the context clue of a dream. It seems like they're looking for a person.
Huh. I wonder who they could be looking for. Hmm.
I think Newsom's probably gonna hop out of Lulin's arms and like follow around our gracious host and kind of observe how he's selecting his dreams to interfere with.
As your roll me insight,
Okay.
which should actually also be better because you have a +1 to it now.
Yup. I get a +1 now, baby. 14.
As you're following him around, it seems like he's selecting dreams before he gets to them, almost like he's being drawn to towards certain dreams. Like as he moves from one to the next, it's very clear that he has a particular one in mind from the minute he steps off from the last dream. And it seems like every time he reaches one, he's tapping on it to expand it. Which, as you kind of dance through one of the... How close are you following on his heels, I guess is the question.
Pretty close, I'd assume, to be able to actually see what he's doing.
So you're watching as he's tapping on them, seemingly without using any other magic. Like, from the way he does it, you could assume that because you are in this place, you could do the same thing.
Okay.
But as they open up, you feel kind of that crackle of static electricity as the wisps expand into their images. And as you kind of go through it, every time you get close to where the color is, you feel that kind of little staticky hair on end feeling.
Oh.
Elliot, as you're watching yours, you finally see something step out of the woods as Alron stands up and cracks his neck.
Does Elliot see the other guy like tap the orbs to expand it?
Depends how closely you would have been watching this one. You saw him do it the first time, but if you went straight to looking at other ones, you probably would only have that one frame of reference.
I think he tried to do what he saw him do in the first one.
Okay. So you tap this orb as it rapidly grows to expand the area around you, as you see that both of the figures now standing around the fire on opposite sides of this clearing are Alrond. But one of them has eyes that are glowing bright yellow.
Elliot will watch for another moment.
As you watch, the Alrond with the glowing yellow eyes begins running into the camp as he begins to change. And you watch Alron simply take a step back, crack a knuckle, and like fall into a fighting stance as this thing rushes at him.
Does he look scared?
I'll
roll.
Yeah, you can't really see his face, so roll insight.
I'll roll.
You're getting two distinct emotions from him, which is fear and acceptance.
Elliot will approach the werewolf to try to dispel it like you saw the guy do with the other thing.
So you approach this werewolf as it's charging across. How are you attempting to dispel it?
As far as Elliot could tell, the other guy just sort of tapped it to dispel it, so he'll try to sort of like shove it, I guess.
As you hold your hands out to shove it and block it from getting to Allrond, it passes through you, and you feel your entire body feels like all your limbs were asleep and they just woke up as it continues onward to Allrond as he steps forward and the two begin fighting.
Interesting.
You can roll history or
Elliot wants to
Arcana
see
if you
if
want
he
to
can
try to
try
figure
to
out what happened.
Enter the dreamscape. Because he did see the other guy sort of become in the dreamscape before.
So Lulin and Karak, you both see Elliot open a dream and attempt to interact with it. What are you doing in this situation?
Karak's probably gonna wait for Lulin to do something, because 1 is just someone, 2 is a pattern.
I think Lula's just watching and learning.
We'll do that then.
Elliot, roll me Arcana at disadvantage.
At disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
He can't lean on any of his friend's mind abilities.
It actually has more to do with the nature of your magic than anything else.
Fair enough.
As you're attempting to interact with this dream, you kind of begin shifting into it, and then you feel the magic violently respond. I'm going to need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Alright, let me make a roll here real quick.
Wait, never mind.
You're gonna take 5 lightning damage.
Okay.
As you feel this wisp become agitated as you're pushed back out of that state, but some of your clothes are slightly singed, and you feel like a bolt of lightning has passed through you. As you watch these two continue to fight in this dream, as Allrond seems to pick up the wolf and slam it against a tree by its throat, holding it there.
Alright. Elliot's learned his lesson. He'll take a step back.
Alright, what are the rest of you doing while this is going on?
Nuzen's like sniffing around through the wisps, seeing if she can like find one that seems similar to the ones that this guy is being like drawn to. After like observing him.
Here's what we're gonna do. First things first, you're gonna roll me an Arcana check.
I'm so good at those.
The Arcana check is going to determine how much you get to add to your Wisdom save, or to your Wisdom check.
11.
Okay, so you're gonna add a +1 to your Wisdom in addition to what you already have. At advantage for a sniff check.
Just a regular Wisdom. I don't have any bonuses to Wisdom.
No. This is Perception. My apologies.
Oh, okay. So
I just said Wisdom because my brain defaults to the trait category.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's Perception plus...
It should be a +7 overall.
Advantage plus...
or a +6
Did you say
overall.
+1 or... Yeah, okay. Alright. +1.
I had to think about the last time I saw your modifiers in chat.
Nah, it's all good. That's a 23.
So you sniff out a dream that has this weird kind of a malignant almost scent to it. Like while the rest of them smell like kind of like, you know, electricity smells kind of like burnt metal. While the rest of them smell like that kind of ionized steel, this one has a scent of rot underneath it. As this kind of purple wisp floats above you.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't be able to identify that it was purple, so.
Oh, that's true. Well, no, dogs can see blue, can't they?
Yeah, but
so you'd be able.
I can't see red though, so it would look blue to me.
That's fair. There's a blue wisp in front of you.
It would look like a dark blue. They can only see primarily blue and yellow, so.
I feel seen.
Yeah. But I'd be able to recognize that there was like a different hue, basically.
Yes.
So she'll like reach a little paw up and give it a tap.
As you tap it, it rapidly expands around you. As you see a group of 4 sitting around a fire. It seems to be 2 tieflings, a human, and a small monkey-like creature that you've never seen. The area around them seems kind of entirely dark.
Yeah.
As they sit there and talk to each other.
Can we like understand what they're saying in dreams?
So you don't get any audio.
Okay. It's silent, but you can see them.
Yeah, you see them like gesturing and like pointing to each other and going through the motions of laughing.
Got it. She's gonna kind of like, I guess, check around because like I from observing, she knows that like something negative is happening in all of these. Like he's preventing something bad from happening. So, she's gonna kind of like sniff around and see if she can find, you know.
Yeah, as you're trooping around looking, you find something moving through the grass, kind of like a snake, and you realize it's a chain.
A chain?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. She'll like, I think she'll like growl a little bit and then reach a little paw out and like bap it. So
you get kind of the same feeling in your paw that Elliot did when he tried to stop the werewolf, as it feels like your paw has fallen asleep and just woken back up.
Mm-hmm.
As the chain seems to pass on towards the group around the fire with no notice of you.
She'll try and bite it, because she didn't see what happened with Elliot, so.
As you try to bite it, your face goes numb. As this chain reaches the edge of the camp, you notice that there are 2 more chains on the outside of this camp. As one of them snaps out, wraps around one of the tieflings, and drags them away from the fire.
Oh. Can she tell, like, which... Because there's only 3 chains.
It seems like the other 2 chains are directed towards the other tiefling and the human. You kinda... You want to roll insight to see if you can understand what the dream's about?
Yeah. Let's see. Insight gets the +1. I can't believe I'm wiser as a dog. Dogs just know things, you know. They just get it.
Old dogs can learn new tricks.
Yeah.
Where's my doggo at?
Where's that dungeon doggo?
Oof. Not a good roll though.
You can't really figure out what this dream's about.
She just like looks around frantically.
There's the wise little woman.
Yes, the wise pepperoni. Please, dog of wisdom, tell us your wisdom.
They want to know your wisdom. Here, tell me.
Mm-hmm.
She says you're welcome to try.
Oh.
She says you can always try. That's her wisdom.
Well, all right.
But yeah, you can't really grasp what this is about.
Newsom's gonna see if she can, like, draw the one that's not being targeted, like, draw their attention to the chains before they reach the other two.
So you're still staying in, like, you're not trying to enter the dream, you're just trying to interact with it?
Yeah, if possible.
Okay, so since you're just trying to interact with it, it seems like you have no bearing on what's going on inside the dream.
Okay. Well, then she's gonna jump her little dog body right in there.
Roll Arcana at disadvantage.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can attune yourself to the dream.
All right, this is our moment. Disadvantage. 11.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Hold on, I gotta look at my Constitution. Okay, it's only a +1. So I'm gonna do a regular D20 +1.
Karak, you've noticed this dream open up on the far side of the clearing, but you can't see anyone around it who would have activated it.
I'm invisible.
I think Karak's gonna stay focused on his dream, and
So, Newsin, there's a small pop of light that you all see. As Newsin, you take 5 electricity damage, or lightning damage, as this dream kind of forces you back out of it, and the wisp seems to be kind of angrily buzzing like an agitated bee. Yeah, so the rest of you in the fog see a purple flash and hear a yelp.
Elliot's gonna see if he can sort of figure out why his magic is less compatible with this than he expected it to be.
Roll Arcana.
My favorite sentence.
So, what you can kind of piece together, and this is you remembering bits and pieces from something you heard a long time ago, is that although all magic can be guided towards the same things, all magic is not inherently the same. There's wild magic, like what Newsin has, that occurs from the entropy and randomness of the universe itself. There's logical magic, which is what you and Lyra are trained in, that focuses on the intricacies and the details and how things fit together and how to bring logic to the chaos that is the weave. There's natural magic like Lulin has that is more attuned to the way things grow, the way they shape, the way they interact with each other, make change. And of the three, it seems like the natural magic is the most attuned to it. And then you know that there's magic from the gods, but that kind of follows whatever type of magic the god inherently uses. But you kind of find that the magic you're using is trying to make logic of something that logic cannot be made from. Which is why it's fighting against you.
Okay.
I hope that was a good explanation.
That was acceptable. carry on.
But it seems like Elrond's winning.
Yeah. I mean, Elliot kind of took a step back from that one and let the dream sort of go back to its orb state.
Oh, as it pulls back to its orb state, it just begins meandering along again. Newson, what are you doing as it shocks you?
Newson's gonna run over to our host and try and get his attention and bring him to this orb that she has identified as similar to what he has been dealing with.
As you walk over, how are you getting his attention? You're just barking at him endlessly? You like
jumping on his heel and like tugging on his pants.
As you're like tugging on his pants as he's walking to another dream, he turns around and kneels down in front of you. What is it?
She starts like quickly like backing up towards this one and sort of like shakes her or like turns her head in a motion towards the now different hue dream.
As he kind of walks over past you, he looks at this dream that's kind of recondensed into a will-o-wisp.
Mm-hmm.
As he kneels down and looks into it, and he goes, I'm sorry, little one, I can't help this one.
She kind of cocks her head.
I try and bring joy to the dreams I can, but once a nightmare's started, I can't intervene. It is their own fears to work through.
Oh.
He kind of looks at you, he goes, yes, I understood the meaning of that, and he casts Speak with Animals on himself.
Oh, thank God! Nobody's been able to understand me since I turned into a dog. What are we supposed to do here? What's the point of us being here?
I simply invited you to witness. I had no other intention behind it.
Can we not help as well?
He kind of like looks around. I suppose that your friend Lulin could, but the rest of you might have a harder time. I heard you yelp. Did you try to attune to the magic?
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, I mean, it was like a group of friends, and they were getting like chains wrapped around them and yanked away, and I felt like I needed to try and do something.
Of course, and that's good. Feels like there are more and more nightmares finding their way to the grove lately. From all across the plains.
Well, you should tell Lulin. I think he would help if he knew that he was specifically fit to do so.
It is not my place to tell him to help.
Well, I guess I'm gonna use my impeccable charisma to go let him know that.
No. It is not out of malice that I say this, but the point of this refuge is to grow. He'll find himself able to help if he chooses to do so himself. Do you understand?
Yes, but I don't like it.
Yes. Speaking of, I'll have something for you. I'm assuming that none of your friends can understand you then.
Well, Lulin has the ability to, but it's gonna, he's gonna have to cast a spell like you did.
I'll see I'll fashion something for it.
Oh, that would be very helpful.
So that you can speak at least to your friends.
That would be very helpful.
Yes. I believe when you entered, I smelled... Oh, what was it? They were thought spores. Were they not?
Oh, yeah. I've got those in my bag. She kind of like, she does like a motion like she normally does to like get something from her bag, realizes she is a dog again, and goes, 1 second. And then like full 360 just like, or full 180 turns around and starts digging a hole.
As you're digging this hole, you suddenly find yourself looking into just an abyss of darkness. Has News never seen a portable hole before?
No, definitely not.
Okay. Well, you can determine what you want about it then, as the bottom of the hole is replaced by this kind of inky blackness that reeks of magic.
I think she kind of like backpedals a little bit as she like almost feels like she's gonna fall into this void, and then is like, I'm supposed to be able to get stuff out of here. Thought spores? I don't know. Does it feel like the bag of holding for her? Because I mean, she has been in the bag of holding, so
it does feel like this is some sort of opening to a bag of holding.
Okay. Spores. She's like trying to summon what she needs from this void.
Nothing happens.
Fuck. I guess she'll hop in.
As you are you like hopping in, or are you like slowly walking down towards it?
Does it feel like there is like a ramp in, or is it just like an edge?
You dug a hole. There's like a ramp to the hole that you've dug in the sand.
Okay, well then yeah, she'll like walk down the hole.
As you stick your head through, you see the small jar of spores sitting on a pedestal with a rope dangling up towards your mouth.
She'll like grab the rope and start pulling it like back towards the edge of the hole.
Can't wait till you have to do that with Hugh.
I know. I don't think it'll be possible with you if I'm like 6 to 7 pounds.
As you like,
I'll have to rage to pull it out.
As you like angrily growl, pull this out of the hole.
Yeah.
He picks it up and he goes, I can work with these. I'll have you something before you and your friends decide to depart.
Thanks.
As he takes the rope off, and the rope and the hole vanish.
Oh, rough. And she just kind of plops her ass down.
What are...
Actually, she's gonna go look for the stick again.
Watch your mouth.
What are the rest of you doing? Elliot, you said you've kind of moved on. Does anybody want to do anything particular? Or are you just gonna kind of like witness the event for the rest of the night?
As he was imagining or sort of thinking about Elrond as he opened the first one.
Mm-hmm.
During the next one, he's gonna like sort of focus on the people in the sword, and then like go towards a dream as it just sort of vibe, you know. See if it leads him anywhere.
Okay. As you go up to this next stream, roll me a d10.
Okay. Oh, that's a d100. That's the d10.
As you approach this, on the inside of it, you seem to see what appears to be a goblin turning around and, like, waving at people for them to follow him, as he kind of turns around and chuckles to himself as he goes through a door, and you see at the top of the door is a bucket.
Nice. Classic.
But it doesn't seem like this would be any of the souls in the sword.
Yeah.
I think Lilin would ultimately go up to the what's his name again? Lyriel. L'Oreal. Damn. I think Lilin would like approach him and just like ask like, what? Tell me more about what's going on.
He kind of looks at you with a hint of a smile. I'm killing nightmares.
Lilin like pulls out his hammer. Well, say no more.
Look for the ones that smell of rot. I'm sure you'll be able to find them. Once you've found one you think you're ready to stop, simply attune your magic to it. But there is something you should know.
Yeah.
Once a dreamer has recognized that the nightmare is there, you are not allowed to interfere. And you are not allowed to let the dreamer know that you are interfering in their dreams. The consequences can be traumatic.
To who?
Everyone involved.
What would be those circumstances? What would actually happen?
A portion of your... Well, a portion of you would be permanently stuck within their dreams. It's not you, per se, although you might experience some psychish backlash as you're created in their dreams, but once they realize you're there, you have a copy of you, essentially, will become a permanent part of their dreamscape. If they are somebody who finds himself to be a vengeful person, it could lead to something like them hunting you down.
Noted.
But feel free to help. If your friends can manage to attune your magic to theirs, you can take them with you. But, well, it may take more training before that point.
I mean, I've communed with the world trees before.
Yes, but communing with nature and mixing magics of different sources can have very different effects. As I'm sure you well know, magic can be volatile.
It could be pretty fickle. Especially if they clash and don't mix well.
Like two powerful ingredients in the same stew.
Yes. I'm able to wield druidic magics and divine magics. And I've not yet quite mastered to combine the two, even though I'm able to cast both.
Then perhaps you will have an easier time channeling than others.
Then Lilin is just gonna think. Well, I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try.
Who is Lulin going to try it with? Or is he going to get everybody together and try it with each of them?
I think he's going to try and get with he's gonna try and get with everybody. But I think he's gonna go to Karak first. Because according to everybody, Karak is the most closest to nature.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I very rapidly came up with a mechanic for this. So, we're gonna wing it.
Hey.
So Karak and Lulin, you are both going to roll a d10. If your d10s are the same number, your magic is attuned. If they are not, it's not. However, you have a number of rerolls equal to your bonus to your spellcasting modifier. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes.
So Karak, what's your wisdom modifier?
My wisdom?
Or your charisma modifier?
Yeah, I was gonna say, my... Do I look at the left number or the right number? Oh no.
The right number.
The right number says plus 10. That's
Okay,
a
what's the
saving
left
throw.
number say?
Plus 5.
Okay, so you would have 5 rerolls to attempt to get those two numbers to match. Lulin, you can use charisma or wisdom. It's up to you.
It's +1 no matter what.
Okay. And then Elliot, obviously, you'll use intelligence.
Yeah.
And then Newson, you will use your charisma, not the charisma of the dog. Well, I guess they're the same. All right. So Karak and Lulin, since you're trying for... Well, tell me how you pitch this to Karak first.
Karak kind of was like, I was talking to him about what's actually going on. He says he's essentially fighting off nightmares, and he told me that I would have an easier time of connecting to them than everybody else because I'm more attuned to nature.
Mm-hmm.
Then he does like a little druid thing, pretends like a clover at his fingertip.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I thought because you're out of the party, in my opinion, the next person closest with nature, I think we could probably knock it out of the park. Want to give it a shot? Kill a nightmare or something?
Karak sort of looks back at the bubble that they've been observing and like thinks about everything that they've been doing, and what would I roll for a confidence check? Because I feel like Karak is kind of not confident considering everything he's learning about himself.
You can roll whatever you want as a confidence check.
I'm gonna...
You can even roll a D100 to see the percentage of confidence you have.
You know, that works. I know me better than me. I want to prove. I'm gonna prove that me wrong. Croc's just like looks back and then looks back at Lulin, thinks about everything that's been going on, and Lulin has been has been, you know, sure they slipped up recently, but they've always had a good head on their shoulders, a good heart in their chest, and so I think Karok's just gonna nod and be like, worth a shot. What's the point of being heroes if we don't help where we can?
He did say there is a dire consequence if what does he said? If the nightmare,
if the dreamer realizes you're in the dream.
Yeah. If the dreamer acknowledges that we are in the dream, then we can no longer do anything. We must get out. It's not their problem. Otherwise, a part of us will always and forever be in their dreams.
Not gonna lie, that last bit concerning.
Yeah, but that's a bit spooky. But again,
internally, Karok is like, that's very spooky. That sounds very familiar.
So, I mean, give it a try. And if they do notice us, get the fuck out.
Mm.
Do something wacky, do something crazy, get the fuck out.
Sounds like a plan. Thankfully, this isn't the first time we've tried to do magic together. That pseudo dragon turning into a dragon was quite something.
Yeah,
We've done it before. We can do it again.
cool.
All right.
And I think you said these are relatively close to the ground. I think Lula's just gonna sit in the stance and like have like his hand on like your knee and like reaching out to the will-o-wisp.
Mm-hmm. Karak's kind of just gonna center himself, sort of reflecting what Lulin's doing, because it's like this person is like nature, like fully, like nothing in between them and nature, no god, nothing. So I think that's what we're
All right.
we're gonna do.
Roll your d10s.
And it's a D10 plus our modifier,
Nope.
right?
Nope. You have a
Just flat
number
D10.
of modifiers. You have a number of rerolls equal to your modifier. Would one of you like to reroll?
I'll reroll. I got
Okay.
4 more to go. We'll do another 3 more to go. 2 more to go. 1 more to go. Ooh.
All right, Lulin, would you like to use your 1 reroll?
Yeah.
They refresh every time you attempt to do this with someone. You just can't do it with the same person for 24 hours.
Yeah.
So, Lulin, as you try to attune your magic to Karak's, you watch as these strands of glowing vines begin to, like, flow away from your hands. As Karak kind of has... Karak, what would you describe your magic looking like?
I would probably say currently it's very...
Like, the basest form of your magic. Or I can describe it as the god's magic. It's up to you.
I would probably say, like, petals and thorns and stuff like that. It isn't like... It's like almost like they're flowing in the wind, almost.
And as these two magics begin to drift up from each of you and collide, you watch again and again as they kind of spark and burn against each other before fading out. And you feel like a connection has not been made.
Ugh.
Can I cast something and could we try again?
You cannot try again within the same 24-hour period.
Got it.
You can try with someone else, though, if you want to.
Got it. Okay. I mean, we were close, Karak.
Yeah.
I put in a little too
it's
much.
First time for everything. Don't expect to do it on the first try.
I went a little too hard at the beginning, and so you can imagine. I'm sorry. I do want to try this again, regardless of the dreams.
Oh, of course. It was wonderful. I've never seen something like that, I'll be honest. I'm not gonna lie, I might step into this next one. Take my chances on my own for a little bit, just to see how it goes. I'll make sure to follow the instructions you left.
Talk to them for more insight, but
True. That does seem
Absolutely.
like a good idea.
I think you can do it. And Luke's gonna give you guidance. He like rubs your head.
Croc kind of smiles at that. It's like, oh, as he stands up, brushes himself off, and heads to L'Oreal.
Luna has a singular pinky left of slobber. You just feel it on your forehead.
Really? Aw. Gross. It's gotta rub in the wind, don't you?
You know what?
Oh.
Maybe for training instead of sparring, we'll work on our magics and have a little fun with that.
Be fun to know all the different tricks you've got up your sleeves. Anyway, and Karak's gonna head off towards L'Oreal.
And then I think Lulin's gonna go to Elliot.
Okay. Karak, as you head up to L'Oreal, he steps back out of a dream. Oh, how can I help you?
Me and Lulin tried something. It seemed interesting. They mentioned you would probably have some good advice for how to help out. I know it's not I know you only asked us to observe, but feels like lending a hand anywhere we can go seems like a good idea.
Oh, what did you have in mind?
Well, I mean, you seem to be doing a good job so far. Walking into dreams and fighting nightmares, it seems. I know I'm no stranger to those. But, I want to know if you have any advice for how you go about attuning to them. Is it just natural for you, or is there like a process that you...
Well, I've gotten better at it with practice, but it's similar. Well, I did just watch the two of you try to attune your magics to each other. It's similar to the same process. Although because my magic matches the natural magic of the wisps, it happens more frequently. And through practice, I've developed the skill for it. If that makes sense.
Would it be too bold of me to ask if I could attune to you, sort of shadow you on your next dream that you go into? I've already been informed by Lulin if not to be seen once the nightmare starts, don't try to interact. Be careful.
As long as you choose to follow the rules, of course, as he holds out a hand.
Okay, Karak's gonna do that. Gonna try to
All
attune
right,
to this
you're rolling
person.
1d6.
1d6. Same amount of rerolls?
Same amount of rerolls, and he will take his as well. So use yours if you want to, or I can use his.
I think Karak will probably use his to try and match, just
Okay.
because that seems like the proper thing to do. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. You can stop me whenever, if it ever hits.
I will.
4 and 5.
All right. You feel that the process is a lot smoother, but in the end, your magic kind of continues to bounce away from his. It doesn't want to connect. It doesn't want to bind. You have problems connecting to yourself that are preventing you from connecting with others.
Yeah. More of a recent development.
Well, in the morning, once my work is done, as I rest, I'd be more than happy to hear about it and provide guidance.
I think I'd like that.
Of course.
Anyway,
Elliot and Lulin. The two, you walk up to... Sorry, Term, continue what you were going to say.
do you think it would be dangerous for me to try and enter any dreams on my own, or I just want to be useful, help somewhere, you know?
Simply witnessing the dreams is all of the use that you are required to have tonight in this grove. But it seems like all of you are fighting for something. Perhaps you can just look at their dreams and see what you're fighting for.
I think I'll do that.
As
Karak sort of lets him, continue.
Yeah,
on his way.
he turns and goes straight after what seems to be another dream. Lulin, you walk up to Elliot. Elliot, what are you doing?
He's observing this goblin's dream.
This goblin's dream seems to entirely partake of the fact that it seems to be pulling pranks on a group of adventurers. Every time one prank is successful, the dream kind of cuts to the goblin setting up a new one.
That's funny.
As Lulin, you make your way up to Elliot to give your pitch.
What you how you holding up? And Lou also looks into the dream. The old bucket above the door trick.
It's a good prank.
Classic. #1 in the book.
True.
Lou's
What have you been seeing?
Nothing this funny. I can attest to that. Ah, the dwarf got it. I was told I would be good at attuning myself to the magics of these wisps and trying to connect with them and convene with them. Me and Karak had tried. We weren't connecting to each other, but I wanted to come try with you.
I mean, sure.
Essentially,
Why not?
what L'Oreal's doing is essentially just killing nightmares. And I don't know, that seems kind of fun. Downside, if the dreamer acknowledges that we're there, we got a dip, it's no longer our problem. Otherwise, a part of us will always be in their dreams.
Okay.
No bueno. Very bad.
Leave if we're acknowledged.
So,
Sounds good.
So try and leave before acknowledged. If acknowledged, do something silly. Be not yourself. Fucking dip. He hasn't said that. He hasn't said that. I think it's a good idea. Be not you and dip. Yeah. So, do we want to try and convene with this one, or did you see another one in mind? Because honestly, this goblin looks like he's having. Goblin looks like he's having the time of his life.
You remember how he told you to find dreams that are going to become nightmares?
They smell.
Like a
oh dear. Newson has become Skywawa.
It's who I am in my heart.
Understandable.
Yeah.
It is not who you are in your heart.
Term, did the cube dance when you triggered it?
I'll be real, that was a while back.
Okay.
I can do it again if you want.
Nah, I'll just make it dance for free.
Sick.
Alright. The two of you roll your d10s to try to bind your magic and describe what both of your magics look like.
I think Elliot's magic sort of starts out as this like emerald green, but like it has dark streaks in it that almost, if his magic is this emerald green and even has this crystalline structure, logical, geometric, there are veins of almost cracks that are just jet black that go along them.
And Lulin, what does your magic look like as it kind of reaches out to touch Elliot's?
I think after witnessing, I think like you'll see like vines enwrapping Lulin's arm, and like coming up and swirling around yours, coming up with like kind of like twigs and branches and leaves, and then from the tips of the branches come like a yellowy whitish light showing like the divinity and trying to follow the same path of your cracks, of trying to like fully like embellish it.
All right, roll your d10s. Who wants to re-roll first?
I'll re-roll mine. I only got one. Oh, let's go! Let's go!
You feel the briefest moment of like tension before it seems like the magics recognize that both can improve the other. and link together as the threads disappear and you both find a rope about 20 feet long made of the same combined magics wrapped around both of your waists and connected in the middle.
I think Lulin's gonna like look at Elliot like, this is fucking cool.
Elliot,
Yeah, bro.
roll me an Arcana check.
You got it.
Would you like to use a reroll?
I would love to use a reroll.
The fact that
I don't even get a 16. There we go.
You
Jesus.
have a moment of realization looking at this that if you pulled this line taut and it was a little bit different color, it would look exactly like what was coming off of Lyra's body. Newson, you can see all this if you want to, or you can be running around with the druid. What are you up to right now?
I think that well, Newson, the last thing I did was go find the stick and like kind of start gnawing on it. But I think watching like Lulin and Elliot or like Lulin try and interact with Karak, like she's probably back in the area of the group and just kind of like
Holding this
watching.
giant staff in her mouth.
Yeah, well, like gnawing and watching this happen. And I think when they connect, maybe what she would do, because I've heard Lulin saying he wants to like help. She would probably like, having already sought out one of these like nightmares and smelled the like rot smell, would try and find like another one for them to point out to them.
Okay. Roll me that perception check, still with that bonus +1.
Okay. Let me manually put my +1 in. Normal or was it a
Advantage. This is a sniff check.
Okay. Right, yes. 25.
Newson, it doesn't take you long before you find one.
She like stands next to it and starts like barking and jumping in a circle to try and get their attention.
Everyone hears that. You can hear barking coming from a direction, but you can faintly see the fog like forming a whirlpool.
Yeah, there's like every once in a while there's like a puff and you see like an ear flop out and then it's gone again.
What do all of you do?
Let's go into the hospital, apparently.
Call an ambulance, but not for me.
Karak's probably gonna head towards that because, I mean, he's observing, and now there's something to observe.
Alright, so you all head over to find Newson barking at the base of this.
Oh wow, that's a lot of wee-woos.
What do you do?
I think
When everyone comes over, she stops and like turns her nose towards it and like does like a point. Makes one little paw up.
I think Lulin would like tug on like Elliot's shirt. Be like, I think Newson found something.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
I think as like we're walking
Elliot
over,
follows. Yeah.
Lulin's just like looking at his like arms and like he's like looking at like our connected magic. Like, holy shit, it worked.
To be fair, it's just connected around your waist right now, as if you'd tied a
Yeah.
rope between the two of you.
He's still like in a like awe.
Karak, how do you feel seeing that Lulin connected with Elliot and you haven't connected with anyone? Just out of curiosity. Not trying to stoke flames or anything.
Yes,
Correct.
definitely not.
Karak kind of gets that feeling in the back of their head where it's just like, falling behind again. You know?
So, as all of you kind of make your way through the fog under this wisp that Sky is pointing at, Newson is pointing at. Sky is the player, not the character.
Mhm.
Sky has the Wawa.
That's
Sky is the
literally
Wawa.
why my brain's broken on that. What are you doing to this dream? How are you interacting with it, Lulin or Elliot?
I think Lulin just reaches out and opens it up.
All right, as you tap this dream, roll me a d10.
8.
8.
We've gotten 8 so many times.
I have gotten 8 so
Okay.
many times.
So you see, like, the view of somebody walking up this just massive, breathtaking mountain. Like, forest off to the side, snow on the peaks, it's a beautiful day. But, as I'm sure a few of you know by now, that can all change very quickly. As you continue to watch as it spreads out around you, the man turns around as you see other people appear kind of on the path behind them as they wave back. Are you going to try to attune to the stream?
What do you think, Elliot?
Yeah, I think that's probably reasonable. Try to fix something before they know.
Let's give it a shot.
All right. Lulin, it would normally be 1d4, but because you're bringing in other magic, roll me 1d8, and you are trying to match the dream.
5.
Would you like to use a reroll?
I'll use one.
Well, you have a free one because of your wisdom.
How does he know if he matches the dream to choose to reroll?
That's
I think
totally
it's 8.
that's totally fair. I would have stopped him if he matched.
Okay.
So as the other two of you watch, Lulin and Elliot kind of change into this sort of electricity as you both feel a rush come over you as you find yourself on the side of the mountain looking down at this party, and we're going to take a quick 5-minute break before we get into all that.
Whee!
So we will see everybody in a bit. Don't worry, the cube will still be there. You can play with the cube until we're back.
Cube.
And we're back. So Nuzin and Karak, as you watch the two of them kind of fade into this dream, and it kind of gets bigger and lays out before you. What is your reaction to that, I suppose?
Nuzin proudly lays down and chews on her stick again because she guided them to the correct kind of dream from her perspective.
Croc kind of stays silent, just looking a bit somber. You know.
All right. Well, I guess we'll cut to the two who are in the dream then. And I'm gonna put you all on it, but two of you will not be able to see.
Mm-hmm.
I love being blind.
Actually, you know what? I can put your tokens on here off to the side because you are technically watching this from outside the dream.
Yeah, we just can't do anything.
So
You're simply observing.
now you should be able to see things.
Yay! This is a big ass map. All right.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of mountain maps ready.
It's huge. It's cool.
As you see down below you, Lulin and Elliot, we're gonna do a music change too, I think. As down below you, you see this group of like travelers passing through as you appear high up on this rock above them, so you can look down, but they don't see you yet. What do the two of you do? Remember, you are tied together.
We hide in bush. Like we're looking for... Sorry, go on.
Can we cast spells?
You seem to be able to do whatever you want to.
Lumen, like...
Elliot's looking for a threat.
Roll perception.
Lumen just thinks of his hand being invisible. He doesn't cast invisible, he just thinks his hand to be invisible.
Your hand remains visible.
Okay. So that we don't have dream laws.
Elliot, on the hill across from you, up here, you see... Oh, hang on. Where are we at on this map? Why can't I see... Ah, there you are. There you are. On the hill across from you, you see a goblin running along... Like, you just see the top of his head behind the base of the hill, as he seems to be, like, unspooling a wire.
Where is it? Like... Interesting.
As this group is getting closer and closer to the valley between you.
Whose dream do you think it is, Lulin? The goblin over there or the people down there?
You said you described a man being at the top of the hill.
Yeah, a man, like, walking with a group of people hiking a mountain.
It could probably just be one of them hiking the mountain. I don't think it's the goblin.
Elliot, as you look across again, you see the goblin peek up on the backside of the mountain, and you can see under one of his arms appears to be a large box with a plunger in it. Like a plunger on the top of it.
Plunger?
Like a detonator.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
As he's kind of running down the hill at a frantic pace, and you see that there is wire spooling out of the detonator as he runs, with kind of a manic smile on his face.
As menacing as you make that sound, you could still be the good guy.
Elliot's gonna watch this dude's dream become a nightmare. Like, well, how was I supposed to know? Aren't you trying to turn into the god of justice?
Yeah, Which
Well,
means,
he
like,
knows.
why would I fuck with this guy's dreams? This
Yeah.
little goblin, he's having a time of his fucking life. And the nightmare is that humans are fucking invading his territory. All's I'm
Damn.
saying. Anyways,
Can I
Elliot
do-
will do a
Can I
little,
do a perception or investigation to see where the wire is going?
You can. Yeah, roll investigation. You could also send out Jeffries because you can still summon him in a dream.
Oh shit, that's right. Yo, Jeffries,
That's it.
go rip
Eight's on
that
the
wire
percep-
out of wherever it goes.
So with an 8, you don't see anything, but with Jeffries flying over the top, you see that the wire seems to be like buried in just this long line of probably 20 barrels right behind the ridge of this mountain, seemingly positioned behind rocks that seem to be holding everything together.
Jeffries is gonna like try to rip the wire with his talons and beak.
On the first barrel.
No, like the wire. There's one wire that goes from the detonator over.
Yeah,
That's
so
the
you're
wire
trying
he's
to
gonna
rip the
try to
connection
break.
between the detonator and the first barrel.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna
I'm
need
a
Jeffries
computer engineer.
to.
It's very easy to get through wire with your teeth. All I'm saying. I've done it many a time.
Yes,
So fair.
but this is det cord,
Go on. What am I?
and that
what am
is
I rolling
significantly
for-
harder to get through.
What am I rolling for Jeffries?
Athletics
Great.
against the DC of the cable.
Consider acrobatics. He grabs it and tries to fly.
I'm gonna consider athletics
Okay.
because you said he was trying to cut it with his beak and talons.
That's fine. Whatever.
Don't be mad.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Do you want to use a reroll?
No. I don't use rerolls. What do you? What?
Okay.
It sits at
So-
6, bro.
As Jeffries, you see Jeffries, like, through Jeffries' eyes, you see him, like, biting and clawing at this cable, but it seems like it's just a long line of putty wrapped around, like, what seems to be a relatively high tensile line of some kind.
Oh yeah.
But the outside, huh?
Putty and string, and then rubber and wire. Sorry, I'm just bullying you.
I'm gonna
Really
blow
bullying
Jeffries
you,
up.
and I think it's.
I'm gonna make you watch in this nightmare as Jeffries explodes.
Oh, it was my nightmare. That's right.
The goblin like stops behind a rock at the base of the hill. So I'll put him there. As he's like just peeking out around the corner, waiting for them to seemingly get into this valley. As Jeffries still struggles with it's whatever the line's made of, it's metal of some kind.
And okay, is it wire or det cord?
Let me put it this way: it's det cord putty with a metal wire in the middle.
So it's both? What's the point in both?
Huh?
What?
The only point of the wire is to hold the det cord in place.
Okay.
Isaac says, "You beast! How could you do this?"
How dare you
trying
be
to figure out
prepared.
the situation. I
How
just
dare you
don't
be prepared.
understand.
Okay, so imagine that the inside of this thing is like thin airline cable. You know what I'm talking about? Did you ever do like theater tech?
Pneumatics.
Like tightly braided metal wires together in the center of this thing.
Right.
So not like computer. Well, I guess depending on what computer wire you're trying to cut. I guess if you're cutting server wires, Isaac, it might be thicker than the cable in the middle of this.
Well, I've never gnawed through a power cord, though never mind.
That would be a pretty good description of it. Is like an extension cord power cord.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Lulin, what are you doing?
I was gonna say Elliot will definitely lean to Lula and be like, "Well, Jeffrey's got nothing. I have one backup, but what do you have?"
Well, there's 4 people climbing a mountain, and there's one goblin trying to blow up the side of the mountain.
All right, so you've recapped the situation. Cool.
Yeah.
As Elliot is gonna cast Dragon's Breath on Jeffries.
To melt the...
Nope. It's going to be an ice cone, actually.
Ooh. Okay.
He wants to freeze the full line of debt. Well, a line of debt cord, basically.
Freezing even a little of it'll do the trick, and I will say that does it. It's a very good workaround. Down at the base of the hill, as they enter into this valley, you see the goblin very happily and kind of concerningly press down on the plunger as nothing happens. As you see just a line of, like, fire shoot up the mountain away from him, and then you just see steam from where it hits the ice. As this goblin, like, looks back down and starts frantically hitting the plunger again.
See, I told you it was his nightmare. Look how concerned he is.
As that happens, you have kind of an out-of-body experience as the two of you rematerialize in the normal world. As the other two of you just watched all this happen.
Good job.
Newson starts sniffing for another one.
So we'll say that you guys do this with about 50% success getting in for the rest of the night. And then in the morning, as you're kind of exhausted, you find L'Oreal sitting in front of the stones as he's seemingly just mixing things for breakfast.
I was gonna say, before Barney comes, I think if Karak is still showing, like, the same thing, like, same face, I think Lil's going to, like, perk up and be like, Elliot, why don't you and Karak give it a go?
Give what a go? The magic?
Yeah.
Sure. Karak, you want to try to synchronize our magics?
Sure. That sounds like fun.
I think Lilin, like, goes to Rock and, like, ruffles her head. Listen, don't beat yourself up if you don't get it the first time. If you didn't get it the first time, by absolute chance, me and Elliot did it. With your age, your knowledge, and your favorable good mornings and sunrises, I know you can do it. Things take time.
Yeah.
I was an appointed commander or officer the first time I applied.
Mm-hmm.
So
Correct.
you can do it. And then, like, Lulu, like, give you guidance again. Like, give you, like, a gentle hug. Don't beat yourself up.
Yeah.
Success rarely comes the first time.
Okay,
I'm gonna
roll me that d4 right now.
Beforehand, could I roll another confidence check?
You can roll another confidence check, but
Croc is very not confident now.
All right.
Yeah, I guess I can try.
So roll that d4. Okay, so you will have 3 additional rerolls to try to get the right match.
So I have 8 rerolls to go.
Yep.
Damn,
I'll go ahead and roll my d10 if...
So as the two of you try to begin to, like, connect your own magic, Elliot, the cord between you and Lulin disappears.
Naturally.
Mm-hmm.
As you both try, as you're describing, well, we've already described this magic, as this kind of, like, logical crystalline structure begins to build its way away from Elliot towards the kind of flowing petals and thorns from Karak.
While this is happening, I think Karak's going to be thinking about what L'Oreal told him about having trouble connecting with others because they're not doing good connecting with themselves. And just for like a tiny bit, they're gonna try and let loose a tiny bit and like loosen up and let their quote unquote other self guide them a tiny bit while they're re-rolling.
Okay. So, well, hold on. We're actually gonna re-roll both of your first roll. So because you have the same magic type, you're both rolling on a d6.
Oh, good.
I can't believe I've been lied to.
Wow.
All right, so that's the first one.
All right.
Second re-roll. Third.
As
Nice.
no, you combined.
4.
Oh no, Elliot rolled a 3.
Yeah.
5th.
Yeah, how about I give it a roll?
Sixes.
Yeah.
All right. This ain't happening, brother.
I got 3 more to go.
And Elliot has 4 more.
6,
Yeah, I do have 4 more.
7,
You have to match a 1 now, right?
Yeah.
8.
5 sixes.
There's no way.
If this was a fireball, this would be astronomical damage.
This would be.
All right.
12,
Elliot, roll me your 4.
23.
Hey! So you watch everybody watching as these magics kind of intertwine and connect and seemingly kind of collapse around each other at the beginning. But as the end, as you see, like, as their magic kind of stabilizes and you see a large amount of it pulling back, what is left between them at their waist almost looks like a chain, perfectly made, blending the crystals as the outer edge with a vine traveling between them with the thorns, almost like a DNA sequence across the length of this chain.
See, it's not so bad.
Oh. Croc kind of smiles and it's like, okay. Good. Correct. Like he is perked up a lot more confident now that he's had some sort of connection. Even if it's right at the end when we're not doing too much.
It's a different magic than movements.
As
Still different from mine.
As you're kind of talking about this, the wisps begin to drift away as the sun begins to rise. And back to, you see L'Oreal sitting at the campfire on the far end of the grove, kind of just tossing food onto the hot stones. It's sitting on Newson's head now.
I realized I could make it move by just like attaching it to my head, but being out of frame. Now it is alive! Alive!
They move now.
It's like a little hand puppet.
Yeah, basically.
Alright. It's up to you guys what you want to do.
I do wonder.
Mm-hmm.
Croc, can I try to perhaps draw on this magic a little?
Sure. Go right ahead.
As Elliot tries to cast shape water, but like sort of pull some of the energy through this tether.
Is shape water a cantrip?
Yeah. Over this, like, sort of throwing the water into a geyser. Sort of using the height of the geyser to figure out how much energy he's been able to maybe pull.
Siphon.
So, the geyser doesn't seem any higher than what it normally is on Create Water. Seems to be about
Shape
the
water,
same.
but yeah.
Shape water. Seems to be about the same.
Okay. Guess not. Interesting.
Sure, there's something. I'm sure there's something outside of nightmare slaying that it could be used for.
I don't doubt that.
Nice to experiment with it. Now we know.
Yeah. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
As Elliot sort of like consciously uncouples the magics.
Oh, you're not trying anything else?
No. He wanted something non-destructive, and that's basically what he's got.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So as you kind of disconnect the magic, the sun rises and the oasis seems to heat up a little bit. As you almost swear you see fish swimming beneath the surface of the lake again. But there were definitely none in it yesterday.
Croc sort of sees the sunrise and has a realization that he has skipped the last two. He's like, oh man, been falling behind. Let me just go ahead and add that to the number of sunrises Karak has witnessed.
He's having a rough go of it, getting those sunsets in.
I mean,
or sunrises.
To be fair, this is the sixth one he's gotten, and he's only been here like a week and a couple days, so that's still passing. You know?
So true.
So what are you guys doing?
Well, we have a meeting either tonight or tomorrow night, so we probably got to head back to the city.
Probably.
I mean, you guys don't have to. If you want to go separately, we can, and I can just fly there. I get there.
I know I would like to probably stick around and talk to L'Oreal for a bit. Last night's discussion was useful, and like a bit more time talking to them, if that's all right. I know circumstances might have changed, so.
No circumstances changed. You can talk.
Well, I meant in regards to L'Oreal because they offered, and I don't want to impose.
I think it'd be advisable if we left at the same time. We can stay around for for an hour or two, maybe no later.
That should be enough time, I feel.
I'll throw on a pot of tea.
Wonderful, wonderful.
All right. You make your way over to L'Oreal as he's sitting there heating up what seems to be a fresh fish over the fire. Or, well, over the coals. Ah, Mr. Areem.
Hello. Thank you for last night. It was quite the sight to see. I've seen quite many strange things, but I don't think I've seen something like that before.
I'm glad
nice.
I'm glad you've grown while you've been here.
At least a tiny bit. There's something that's been bothering me about something that it was brought up by Lulin as one of the possible consequences of being seen in someone else's dreams, and I've not been having the best. I wouldn't even call them dreams, but I've been slowly discovering more about myself, and
Yes, I've seen your dreams, Mr. Areem.
oh, well that clears things up a tiny bit. I'm just concerned where to go from here, because while connecting and trying to be better, and especially earlier, a little bit ago when connecting with Elliot, I sort of tried to connect to that side of myself that I don't I don't quite trust. And that seemed to be around the point at which things started to click again, and I'm worried. I don't want that. I know it's very adamant about it being me deep down, and I just don't recognize it. I mean, I can't deny what it says. It's true as far as I can tell, but...
Would you like to know why this other side of you seems to have more power to connect, Mr. Areem?
That would be helpful, yes.
Because it has purpose. It has the will to bind its magic. You say your purpose is to be better, but to be better for what? What is your goal? What are you striving towards? What will you fight for? That will give you the will to bind your magic more efficiently. This other side of you already has that will, whether you know what it's fighting for or not.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I guess that's a
why
question
are
I
you
still
fighting,
have to...
Mr. Areem?
I'm still, I think, figuring that out, but the closest I can gather is for the people around me. The people who don't deserve... I'd want...
Yes.
The stuff that I did...
That is what you want, but what are you fighting? I suppose I'll rephrase the question. What are you fighting towards? It is good to have a want for the world, but a purpose gives purpose. And a goal gives purpose.
Croc kind of thinks for a little bit, going over their sort of mental notes of everybody and everything they've been doing as of late. And his mind sort of delves back to like the rules that he's been mentally keeping track of in regards to Elliot. Only got 4 so far. And Croc sort of like trying to think about where to start with that.
It is not a question you have to answer.
I want to make
today.
sure people... I guess that's the case. For now, anyway,
It's not even a question you have to answer to me. Sorry, I keep cutting you off. Continue.
It's all good. It's, I want to make sure that version of me... I don't want to turn into that version of me, and I want to make sure people like that don't work well. I want justice for the people who worked, I want justice for the people that I hurt. I want to make up for it. I want this world to persist, because whether the other version of me wants to admit it, it is better, and I can be better if I just let myself be better.
Interesting. Elliot. Roll me Arcana.
Okay. Scales. Damn, bro.
I argue... I was...
What are you going to argue?
I wanted to argue if they could have advantage because they had only recently just disconnected from me, and so there might be some sort of residual...
I'll allow that. Roll at advantage.
Okay.
Elliot, you don't hear the word, but it happens at the exact moment you hear Karak say, "I want justice." You almost feel a tug in Karak's direction, almost as if it came from your soul itself.
He sort of...
It's a very disconcerting feeling to have happen for the first time.
Sort of looks over at Karak. What's he doing? He's just talking to... What's his face? Yeah. Just, get a confused look at them.
Karak's space is sort of determined, like no one else will go through this if I have anything to say about it, sort of deal. I won't let another me happen.
Then forge your goal and your purpose into the willpower you need to bind your magic.
Mm-hmm. I'll do just that.
But it will not be its strongest until you resolve the rift within you.
That'll be concerning, but I mean, if I've done crazier in the last week, so I guess it's possible. Grok just sort of, thanks them for their time and is just sort of like looks around at the grove and it's just like, you've got a good place here. I hope I would say I would like to find my way back here again, but well, I don't. When people are stuck, I assume that once they get unstuck, they don't come back unless they get stuck again, and I don't think I think it's not. I'm bad with words.
Once you have been to the grove, you will always be able to find your way back to it. After all, just because we become unstuck does not mean we do not still have room to grow. Before you and your friends decide to leave, do come see me. I have, well, we'll call it payment for the assistance, but it's really more of a gift.
Oh, we'll be sure to do just that. As Karak sort of leaves them to it, and before he goes, it's just like, also, good catch, as it, like referring to the fresh fish as he walks back.
He kind of chuckles as you say that.
Grok sort of sits down with the rest of the party, just like, all right. Apparently he has a gift for the party. He said it was payment, but not really payment. God, I haven't heard that kind of talk in a while. I still don't know what you're saying.
Lulin gives you pets and head scratches.
This is like pauses for a minute and then kind of like sits down and enjoys it.
There we go.
The foot starts thumping, and then she's like,
yeah. He gets like right behind the ear here. Don't give me that.
So just so you all know, you don't have a level of exhaustion, but you don't have the benefits of a long rest for last night.
That's what I figured.
I assumed as much.
Yeah. All right. What are you guys talking about?
So, go to the city?
Yeah.
I mean, we still have to wait for the gift unless they know how to send it to you somehow.
That's fair. You guys could always get a head start. I could catch up on Gambling.
That is fair. That is true.
To be fair, the way he phrased it made it sound like the gift is ready. He just needs you to come get it.
Ah. Apparently it might, who knows, it might be ready. I sort of left them to their new catch. They made some wonderful catch, wonderful fish. Not sure. Could I roll a history check to see if Karak remembers that there was no fish last night?
Sure. You have no idea if there were fish in the pond or not.
Newson hops up and starts running towards breakfast.
Lulin's walking
Ellie
over.
will go ask about the gift.
Well, breakfast and the gift, I think, are in the same direction.
Oh.
Newson,
they're with the same man, in fact.
As you run up, he goes, "And how was your evening?" He can still understand you.
Oh, he can still. Okay, speak with animals still works with
Yep.
for her.
No
Okay.
problem.
You know, better than expected. I helped how I could.
Yes, there's quite a few more fish in the pond today than there are most of the time.
Oh,
Thanks to you and your friends.
the fish are nightmares?
The energy that makes them up, the natural magic that produces nightmares, is not lost when they're destroyed, but taken into the grove and turned into sustenance.
So does anything weird happen when you eat them?
No, the natural magic is cleansed by the grove and returns to being just that, the magic that can be used to create life.
Huh.
And
Well,
these
that's cool.
are normal fish. Would you like some?
Yeah.
As he kind of like
Does a
starts
little
tossing
spin.
you tiny pieces of fish.
This is like jumping with enthusiasm and like snatching these out of the air.
As the rest of you make your way up to see him talking to a barking dog.
He brings him a cup of tea.
Oh, thank you. Would you like some fish? The labors of our evening.
Seems like a good trade.
I have these for you as well. I think they'll help. And he brings out a small, like, leather roll and unrolls it. And inside are 4... They almost look like glass. But you can see inside of them the spores bouncing around. And they all have a single piece of petrified wood embedded in them. 3 of them look like standard like pins. They're just round at the top and pointy at the bottom. But one of them looks like a dog's bow. If you'll put these on as he passes the 3 to the 3 of you, and then he leans down to Newson. Come here.
Karak's gonna go to put his on and realize, oh dang, I don't know where the best place to put it on the new armor is. Here. And just chooses a place at random.
Nuzid like sulks over when she sees the bow.
He clips this kind of bow onto you, Newson, and as he does, and Karak, as you affix yours to your armor, you feel them almost disappear. Like they are blending into your armor.
Why did it have to be a bow if it was gonna disappear? Nuzid complains.
The 2 of you that haven't put yours on yet can't see theirs, but the 2 of you that have put yours on can see each other's.
I mean, I can. It's still there. That's right.
No,
Wait, can I understand news? And I didn't ask that yet.
You can. You feel as you put them on, you both feel your head kind of like buzz with static, and then when it comes out, you can So the benefit of this, the Druid's Runestone, are the following for those who have put it on. I'm gonna put it in your inventory and hope it just works as I intended it to.
Yeah.
So we'll put that in Karak's inventory, and then when we equip it, when we equip it, perfect, that works. So the other benefit to wearing this item is that while this item is on you, on top of being able to understand the other wearers of the artifact regardless of language. So no language barrier will stop you from communicating, like you can just understand each other. They also give you a +1 wisdom.
Wow.
Yo!
Love that.
Karak needed that.
Yeah. So
No more negative ones for me. Finally at 0.
As the other 2 of you, what are you doing with your amulets?
Lulin's like trying to like fix his into like a bracelet and put his on.
Right. Karak just like doesn't even register that he can understand news, and now it's just like it's still there. I can still see it.
Yeah, that's why I'm moping. And Nuzid rolls on the ground dramatically.
I mean, just
The other two of you hear Karak having a conversation with a yapping dog.
Ellie will put his on.
Elliot, as you put yours on, you experience the same kind of fuzzy-headed feeling.
I'm already a small dog. I don't need to be made less threatening. At least I could look like I could bite someone's ankles. If you put a bow on me, I mean, come on.
I mean, it might have the opposite
I don't
effect.
know
People
how you-
are more likely to see that, and then they'll be they'll be prime targets for biting the ankles.
Isaac, how do you
They won't
equip
run
things
away.
on your
It's
sheet?
disarming.
How do you equip things on your
What do you
sheet?
mean? I don't know. What do you mean, how do I equip things on my sheet?
Well, it shows you have things
I-
equipped.
I did this earlier with the armor. There's like a button that you press
No,
right next to
it's-
it. Like the shield-looking one.
Elliot
Yeah,
has a
his is a
different.
different-
Elliot has a different sheet than everyone because he likes to be special. There it is.
It's special.
There you go.
Because he likes to be special.
And
Oh, actually, sorry, I don't
Did
have
my
an.
wisdom just go up.
Also,
Whoa!
No, because
I-
you needed more wisdom.
Also, to let everybody know, I don't actually have a 10. I actually still have a 9. So Karak is just as wise as he was before.
Oh no!
but as you all
Hey,
put this
next
on,
level.
you begin to understand each other.
Hmm.
I'm just saying, I think it's disarming.
to wear a bow in my hair.
Yeah.
Isn't that what people would expect from a small, fluffy dog to wear a bow?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the perfect disguise.
Yes, but
Yeah.
only your
I
friends
think
will be
you're
able to
guilty.
see it.
I think being a dog is the perfect disguise. I don't think I need more of a disguise.
It's okay. As I said, only your friends can see it.
Yeah, but
I mean,
That's
that's
more than
I think it
zero.
looks great on
Better
you.
than them mistaking another dog for you.
Mhm.
well, you could have made me like a cool bandana or like.
I think the
mean-
bow is appropriate.
Uh,
Bandanas are for big dogs.
Hey! I'm
Wow.
big
Lulin,
enough.
I mean,
Without looking, Lulin goes for a high five to with Elliot.
Elliot goes
Stop.
for it.
Stop high-fiving at my expense!
Oh, I'm sorry. Lopa?
This is
Lopa.
like running around between your all's legs, not even close to your fucking hands and arms. Even if she could jump twice or 3 times her height, it would only maybe put her at knee height for you both.
You know, I'm realizing if we don't get there soon, it'll take about 4 years for this dog to walk there. So
Yeah, I
one of
guess
us
you're
can
gonna have
hold
to.
them.
Oh my god, it's my turn to get carried instead of having to carry all of you. Wow, this is a moment for me.
I see that I've made the right
when's the
decision in
last time
giving
you
you back
carried
this
anyone?
ability to
I
communicate.
carried
Lulin
you.
carries people.
No, I carry people all the time. What are you talking about?
yeah,
You carried Lyra, and that's about it.
No, they carried me when you were running off to the Elfelkir Forge.
I would
Uh,
encourage all of you to not have arguments like this in front of other people.
It's gonna happen regardless.
Karak just realized like that they're literally talking to a dog, and it's like, oh right.
Now, you all feel like you've grown on your stay here?
Definitely.
No, I feel like I shrank.
Did you grow as a person, not in physical form?
No, I grew into a dog.
I think you did a good job, Newson.
I did my
I think-
best.
You sniffed out a bunch of bubbles.
That's true.
I think the food of the soul has been consumed, and growth will take place soon.
That sounded incredibly religious of you.
I would have called it
yeah.
I just didn't
pretentious,
wanna,
but that's just me.
Insult her personally, you know?
Hey!
Yes, of course, not to her face. Remember, for any of you, that should the runestone be removed from you, you will lose this ability.
Ooh.
Both
So
the
hold on to
ability
it.
to understand and to be understood.
Oh.
Completely?
No, just to the other ones wearing the amulet.
Wait, so just
So
don't take them
if
off.
I lose mine, you won't be able to understand me, even though you guys have yours.
okay,
Correct.
I was very concerned that if I took off mine suddenly that none of these three would be able to understand me.
No.
That was very concerning.
PT, I don't have mine.
What?
Correct.
You
Yeah, Lula, I
absolutely
think you just
do.
need a new character.
You just need to
sheet. It's
equip it.
always broken.
There, it's equipped now. You happy? Wisdom went up by 1 to 13. No progress was made.
Yay!
Well,
I'd love to see it.
I wish you all luck on your journey.
Oh, that's because you put it in effects, not in my inventory.
Oh.
Nope, it's
That's
definitely
why I
in your inventory. I equipped it for you by clicking on your inventory.
Oh, there it is. Look at me knowing how to read.
Correct, dummy. He's dyslexic.
It's that pencil tucky.
Loser.
It's that pencil tucky
All right.
education.
And
So
you
true.
all, are you all heading off? Any last words
Yes.
for him?
Newson's waiting to get picked up.
Grok's
been-
gonna go ahead and pick him up.
Yeah.
No, Karak, I got it. But it's been a very lovely time. Thank you for having us. And
Oh.
I look forward to seeing you yet again.
Of course. Should you ever need to grow again, simply come and find me.
Mm-hmm.
Will do.
As you all step out of the oasis, and the minute you pass the last set of trees, you are just in the middle of an empty, blistering hot desert with a city in the distance.
So, I'm not the only one that filled up my canteen before we left, right? Cool.
Shit.
Good talk.
Look, it's really hard to get anything, but I mean,
To
I'm
be
like-
fair, I can
6 pounds. I don't
I
think I
can-
could drink that much anymore.
I can create water. So
And as you head
Fair
out
enough.
across the desert having this conversation, that's where we'll end this session.
Mm-hmm.
All right, did everybody have fun?
Yeah.
Oh god, Term, you fed yourself to the cube.
The cube.
Oh, no.
consumes
Also, did the
it.
cube dance when you made it dance? Did it work?
Yes, it did.
Perfect.
It does not work in cooperation with the so if somebody redeems the feed a player first, it will not dance over top of the feeding. It waits until the feeding is done. So that's just
Interesting.
something
I
to
might
aware.
have to adjust
You
that.
probably just need to unlock one of the commands.
Yeah, let me see which one it is. We can test this right now. There it is. Alright, let's try it. We got characters in there right now. Cool, let's make this thing dance. Who wants to do it? Because if I force it, I know it'll work.
Here, I'll do it. I got 3,000 points to spare. I got actually 10 times that amount.
ever since PT added "Don't worry about it," I've rarely ever used anything, and I'm at 81,000.
I want to
Ooh.
specifically say, don't worry about it. Used to be 150,000, and when I hit 150,000, PT raised it to 300. So I'm just saying, he's
Oh.
trying to make it an unachievable goal. It is dancing
I, too,
with
have
people
seen
inside
move
of it.
Away from my,
Alright, well, thank you to Sky for the raid. Thank you to Ricky Vitt for the follow. Thank you to Brambo for 29 months of subscription.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
I hope everybody enjoyed playing with the new cube. More features will be coming to the cube soon. All praise the cube. Thank you to all of our players. We have Lulin Bold Speaker played by...
It's me, Brambo. And do you think when the cube dance, is it still a square dance?
I'm
think
leaving.
so.
I'm here all week. I'm not. I'm actually only here one day, and that's today. It's been me, Brando. And my favorite is
Recovery.
making Sky's eye twitch
Just then?
Yeah, just then.
And then we have Elliot Burning Oak played by.
Me, Isaac, and I'm still thinking about my pesto dinner.
Damn.
It was good.
Pesto's good.
What was your favorite
Yeah.
part?
And hey, I'm getting there. Always interrupting my train of thought.
Didn't feel like you were getting there.
I was. Don't worry.
Who's ass?
This is more of like a 1940s train. You know, it'll get there, but it's
gonna take a
steaming
bit.
along.
It's slow and full of gangsters.
There may or may
as
not
it turns out, it's slower
murder-
than just taking a horse.
A murder
So-
might happen, and it might get solved before we even get to the end.
I see
So
what
true.
you did there. Anyways, I think my favorite part. I liked Karak's introspection.
Mm.
Nice. And then we have News and World Walker played by.
It's me, the Sky T. My favorite part of the session was when Tech Husband texted me in the middle of it and went, "Are you barking?" And I went, "Yes, I'm a dog and no one can understand me." And he went, "Oh, damn, you really committed to the bit." And I went, "Yeah, I did."
And last but not least, we have Karak Areem played by.
Hello, my name is Terminian Link VT, and my favorite part was the binding of different magics. That was really cool.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you for having a wonderful time. We're going to send you on over to Indoor Adventures.
Make sure they're not ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me double check that real quick. They're 3 hours in. They might be ending. I have nobody to send them to. Somebody give me someone. Go. Go fast. With all your speed, put it in the BCH chat.
I've got someone playing Stardew Valley.
Sure.
Okay.
As long as we send them somewhere. The tour has to take them somewhere when it's done.
There you go.
All right. And then Sky, using the new emotes, do you want to make a raid message?
Sure, I'll make a raid message.
Because you're better at that than me.
Let's use the wobbly cube. Wow.
Let's go.
We're committing to the cube bit, y'all. Just so you know.
I mean, you already have a polychromatic one. It'll be on brand if that becomes one of the abilities it gets.
There we go.
True.
The tour is arriving.
All right, that's your raid message, everyone. We're gonna send you over to Good Apple Boy. There might be a stream tomorrow, but reminder that there will be no stream on Wednesday because I'm working. Fun times.
Wow.
Anyways, have a wonderful rest of your night, everybody, and until next time, don't do anything I wouldn't do. The bar is so low. Have a good one.